Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about Prince Rupert's drop, the incredible glass structure that is super hard in the front but completely fragile in the rear. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, fact 1. Since Roman Empire. The Prince Rupert's drop of a glass structure that is incredibly strong in the front, but then a little snap in the rear tail completely destroys the entire glass structure. This has been around since Roman times. It probably happened when a glassmaker accidentally dipped molten glass into a jar of glass or some other body of water, and then when they picked it up, they realized that the front was so difficult to break, but yet at the same time, if you shatter the rear or you cut the rear, the whole thing collapses. And so it is probably easy for people to accidentally discover Prince Rupert's drop. And since Roman times, there's been documentaries of people creating this type of glass structure. Even though it's named Prince Rupert's drop, Prince Rupert is really the first person that made it well known. He's not actually the person who discovered this. The person who discovered this type of glass structure is forever unknown, because it has been since ancient times. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. A bullet can destroy the drop. So the biggest and most important characteristic of the Prince Rupert's drop is that the front of the drop is a piece of glass that is so hard to destroy. Tests have been used to try to smash it, try to drill it, and so forth, and nothing seems to work. The only vulnerability on the Prince Rupert's drop seems to be the tail. You have to destroy the tail to destroy the front of the drop. Well, that's actually not the case. Someone was actually able to use an AK-47 with a standard NATO 5.56 bullet to shatter the thing from the front. Take a look at this slow motion. The bullet hits the front of the Rupert's drop and completely shatters this glass structure. And so, even though the front is incredibly strong and can withstand so much stress, ultimately, a bullet from an AK-47 can still destroy it. Cool. Let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. Naturally in lava. As I mentioned in the previous sections, the Prince Rupert's drop was not made by Prince Rupert because that was way too late. It has been around since Roman times. And in fact, in volcanoes, Prince Rupert's drop actually happens in nature due to lava flow. I suppose when the molten lava spews out from the volcano, some of it probably gets into the water and creates some of these kind of structures. And so Prince Rupert's drop is not actually just a man-made glass structure. It could be formed in nature via a volcano of molten lava that's spewing out. I think it's pretty incredible, and I wonder if anyone actually able to discover a naturally forming Prince Rupert's drop and showcase it. I don't believe, and I could not find anything in my research to document this. Despite the fact that they do occur naturally, I don't believe anyone has showcased any sort of naturally forming Prince drop glass structures. I think if someone is able to do that, they'll probably be very famous and people want to study that natural structure. Alright, let's get into fact 4. No real use. Despite Prince Rupert's drop being such a mysterious glass structure with incredible strength in the front and super fragile in the rear, there's actually no practical use of the Prince Rupert's drop. And if you think about it, it makes sense, because anything that touches the rear fragile tail completely destroys the whole structure, so the structure is actually pretty fragile. Only the front is really tough. And so there's no real use, and ever since the discovery of this, and even when Prince Rupert brought it to attention in England, it's really been just a party trick of people who have come upon this structure and show it to people to wow it to certain individuals who's never seen it before, about how you can't break the glass in the front, but then it quickly shatters it as you cut the rear. It's really just a party trick or something that's interesting for people to see and marvel at. And in fact, if we'll go into the next sections, the mystery of why the Prince Rupert drop has this incredible characteristic of super strength in the front and fragile in the rear was not really solved until 1994. And so for hundreds of thousands of years, people have been using Prince Rupert's drop as a novelty item and a conversation piece for people to play around as a party trick. Alright, last fact, solved in 1994. As I mentioned in the previous sections, the Prince Rupert drop is been known since the Roman Empire for thousands of years. And it wasn't until 1994 when an engineering professor at Purdue University was able to understand why this happens. They used a high-speed framing photography to observe the shattering process and found that the surface of the drops express highly compressed stresses inside high tension forces. This creates a state of unequal equilibrium, which can be easily disturbed by breaking the tail. And so, if you can see, it took hundreds of years of studying in order to understand the glass structure and the way the tension forces work in the Prince Rupert's drop, to understand why it happens and why it retains such a mysterious characteristic of being super strong in the front and easily broken in the rear. And if you think about it, the way they were able to solve the mystery was with slow motion, high speed photography. So therefore, technically, before the invention of videos and digital photography and video editing, there's really no way to solve it, because the glass breaks so fast that people don't really know why the tail is the ultimate failure point and while the front is so strong. Well, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.